In this section, we'll talk about how StorPool-Powered clouds compete. So what we've shown here is that storage performance is application performance. On the same CPU, on the same virtual machine, if you just change the storage system, you can get a lot more performance for your applications. It obviously depends on exactly what the application does, where the bottleneck of the application is, but we can show that for many applications, this is the case. With some experiments we've run, we've shown that both IOPS and latency are important for application performance. So for example, the number of transactions per second you get in a database depends on the CPU of the VM as well as the IOPS number of the storage, IOPS capability of the storage system. But the latency you get under reasonable load depends mostly on the latency of the storage system. And we've shown that you can get 2.5 times, in other cases, 10 times more better performance on a StorPool-Powered cloud versus a leading cloud, like one of the hyperscalers. So how do our customers compete in this kind of public cloud space, which is extremely competitive? There are tens of players, many players. So they compete with quality of their service, which is the top performance they can get, extremely good availability, and very good support to their customers. They have great storage solution economics provided by us, right? Which is the combination of a lot of factors, our fee, but hardware and hardware refresh cycles, etc., fits in that total cost calculation, which enables them to do very competitive positioning of their service in the market. And last point is StorPool manages the storage layer for them, so their highly skilled team can focus on improving their other services, right? So it's a case of specialization. We do our thing really well, and they can focus on the rest of their business, right? And final couple of slides. So good application performance is critical for every cloud. When you measure performance, please measure what matters to you, not some synthetic metric. You can get 2 to 3 times higher application performance for the same amount of money. This kind of performance is within reach for small and mid-sized public and private clouds, which, depending on how you look at it, it may mean reduce the cost in half for your infrastructure for running the same workload. And in your next project, please consider working with a partner who understands performance, and you can gain a lot by doing that. Real business metrics, so like improving your total cost of ownership or ROI period, etc. And we deliver a unique combination of performance, reliability, scalability, ease of use, and mission-critical support. Therefore, StorPool is the best storage system for demanding public and private clouds. This is, generally the end of it. I'm open to questions.
A question: how is this priced? Is it priced per terabyte?
Yes, it's priced per. We try to price it in as close to the metric used in our customers' business model. So, which means per terabyte. They sell per terabyte, they pay per terabyte.
Is there a minimum size?
Mm-hmm. So there is a cost per minimum, which means that it's not economical to do extremely small deployments. Extremely small would mean like a 20 terabyte deployment, right?
So a quick question here as well. In one of your slides earlier, you were comparing the performance of the storage against other cloud storages, different platforms, when running databases on it.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, why would someone being on that cloud platform be running databases on that storage? Wouldn't they be using the native database technologies? And would that slide matter too much in that case?
So let's try and unbundle that. If you're using a kind of managed database from, say, AWS, that would be, for example, a MySQL database running inside an EC2 instance running on EBS storage. So you would get the same kind of performance differences if it's the hosted MySQL database in the public cloud versus if you run the MySQL database yourself. The difference is in kind of responsibility and who manages what, who fixes issues when they appear, who does the upgrade, who upgrades these systems, etc. Right? Even if you're using a hosted MySQL database in public cloud, you would have the same performance difference. And you pay for your storage separately from the database, right? From the managed database service.
Yeah, of course. I get that. I was just wondering that if the storage system, for example, is on EC2 or those kind of environments, then clearly they're trying to manage it themselves. I'm just wondering that they would probably go for some higher performance storage then.
It's not them. It's in the case of AWS, it's a cost of the user. So the user kind of selects what EBS volumes they want to attach to the managed database service from AWS. There are obviously many, especially in AWS, not so much in other clouds, but especially in AWS, they have many different offerings. They have many different types of databases. And I just took RDS as an example, which is kind of a managed database service. There are other scenarios, but these other scenarios, say, for example, you use some scalable database solution from AWS. These scenarios require different client software as well, right? So if you're talking about, the most common case would be a database is an SQL database that could be a PostgreSQL or a MySQL, or in more rare cases, Microsoft SQL, Oracle, right? And regardless if you run that database yourself or if you outsource the work of managing your database to Amazon with an RDS service, for example, the way it's built is the same. It's an EC2 instance with a MySQL database inside and Amazon EBS underneath, which has the same limitations as the EBS volume we got here.